and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 12th of June, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. It's a Saturday, which is good for many of us, though I do remember shift workers that may have to work, but for those of us that get a day off, it's an awesome day. So let's have a look at, firstly, let's find out what number we are doing today, because then I can start placing diamonds. Number 16. Oh, so we're staying connected to the square that we did yesterday. At least I'm pretty sure that was the one we did yesterday. So that makes things a little bit easier in the fact that I don't have to move my clips. We do have a lot of K included in this, and that is 995, of which I do have a little extra box. So I'm going to tip all of those. Let's see if we can get all of these used up, though for some of K I have actually used out of the original pot, so any of these, should it be that we don't use them all, I will just tip them back into the main pot. It's amazing how many diamonds I've actually gone through when I look at some in the pots. Like 964 is currently in 2. That could probably all fit back into 1. 995, say we've got a load here, but there's a load more in there. And these ABs, quite a few of them are actually fuller than they were originally, because I just popped in all the ones that Margaret sent to me. But yeah, today's pen is a green pen with little seed beads inside. This one was gifted to me by Anika. So thank you again to Anika. It's always fun to change up my pen on a daily basis. I've actually pulled all my pens together and lined them all up so that I know, and then I put them back into their respective pots when we're done, so I know which pens I have used. Otherwise, it can get a little confusing at times. But I still have quite a few more pens to go through. There are some that you'll find that are duplicate companies, i.e. I have had more than one pen from them. But they're all different. I don't think I have any 2 pens that are the same, apart from pink pens of course, but I'm not including those because I don't use them anymore. I've become a pen snob. Has anybody else become a pen snob and no longer uses the pens that come with the kits? Because they're just not as fancy anymore. Once you get used to using a thicker pen, a nicer pen, a prettier pen, you find you just can't go back. Now I am using the purple tray in this video, and I am filming this the night before the video's due to go up. So I do apologise if this tray has since sold out, because it has been extremely popular and more than half of the stock has sold out already. If it turns out that it does all sell out, then I will of course stop waving it in anybody's face when I shake my diamonds to make them lie straight. And I will go back to possibly using the white one. Quite enjoying using the white one at the moment. That's also a new colour. But while we are on the topic of trays, and I know there are still questions and colour suggestions that I haven't yet got to, we have today ordered a third printer. A third 3D printer. It's actually hubby's idea, because we do want to be able to put into place all these ideas we have, all these colours you guys want. They will still be limited, whatever the colours are. We do expect some to sell out quicker than others. We understand that quite often there can be somebody's favourite colour and a lot of other people share the like of that colour. But it does mean that we should hopefully be able to bring out the limited colours a little bit more often, and therefore give you guys more choice, give you a chance to all get your favourite colour. And while there'll still be a limited run, they will stay on the site until the stock is gone. So there may be a time when there's lots of choice. We'll see. It's taken off a lot more than we thought it would. Yeah. But we are ever so grateful for everybody's orders for the trays. We absolutely love the trays, and when I say we, that's my hubby loves the design of them, but he doesn't diamond paint. As diamond painters, Megan and I love using the trays. We wouldn't use any other tray anymore. Not just couldn't go to using another tray. It just doesn't work for us. It doesn't feel the same as this one does. And it's funny how everybody holds them different as well. I've seen a few people that hold them this way round and rest it on, in their whole hand. And then I often will hold it this way as well as holding it on the finger grips as well. But yeah, enough talk about trays. Let me zoom you in so you can see all this K that I'm doing, because there is a lot of it in this section. Zoom in and shuffle over. It's actually a little bit lighter than the blue that you can see on here, but quite often the actual colours on the canvas aren't the true colour anyway. Quite often the likes of black can often be green on a canvas. I don't know why, but quite often it is. Sometimes it's a darkish blue colour. I've had a few different colours for 310 in the past. I've had some of them looking brown, but they're close enough that once the diamond is in place, that's what you see more. Okay, so questions/comments. There is a bit of a mixture of two of them both. So you may find that, some discussions that we've had over the last few days, I'll be reading out other people's views and inputs on them as well. I think it's nice to have that, little bit of back and forth as well. So Carol says she does do the same thing as me, and that is in relation to starting in the bottom corner and picking that symbol and then working the way across. So I mentioned, I think I've done it in the last couple of videos, but she starts on the top left. So she goes with whatever symbol is on the top left and does all of them before moving across. Well, we would have both started with the same symbol today because it is K at the top and at the bottom. I think the only reason I don't start at the top left, because top left does make sense, it's the direction that you read, is because I very much like to stack diamonds on top of each other when I can. And I think that's why with this, when I'm doing a big block of colour, I like to do the step method, where I stack them like stairs, going in a diagonal. And by doing it from the bottom, it means I can stack them and build a tower. And I seem to be better at building a tower from the bottom up than I am from the top down. I can do it. So for example, if I do it in this section here, I can line them up going down, but I find it much easier to stack them going up. And that's just personal preference. Oh, Katie Swain says a lemon yellow tray would be one for me. I will pop that one on the list as well. There are so many colours out there. I say I'm going to have so much fun shopping for tray colours. So Jamie says, what is your favourite food or meal your hubby makes? Well, anybody that has been watching my channel for a while and maybe watched some of my past advents, I wholly admit I personally hate cooking. It really does not spark an interest in me, never has. Hubby's always, well, normally pretty much always been the one that does the cooking. And my favourite meal that he makes is potato skins filled with cream cheese and spring onions and bacon, and all sorts of stuff. They're absolutely delightful. But at the moment, hubby doesn't tend to do the cooking either. That is the job of Megan now she's home. Megan did used to cook when she lived at home as well. She was always great at taking over and putting on tea. And when you're somebody that doesn't like to cook, you will take that option wherever possible. So yeah, Megan's always been really good at cooking. So she does all the meal planning and the cooking Monday through Friday. Occasionally she will cook at the weekend, but that's normally if we've decided to have a cheeky takeaway through the week. But yeah, it's Megan that does all the cooking now. I'm very, very fond of her chilli. Her chilli's very nice. It's not everybody in the house's favourite, so I do enjoy it when we get an evening when it can be made, and that normally, sometimes meal planning purely goes around who is in, who's at work, etc, etc. Just go, keep getting sneaky 2 diamonds placed. While I've filled up this pen with wax, occasionally the wax that's coming out the side of the pen does pick up a second diamond. I see that as a bonus one rather than a mini cheat like a multi-placer. I see it as a little Brucey bonus to get 2 diamonds placed. Stephanie said, do you ever use tweezers when working on square diamond paintings? If so, is there a particular pair of tweezers you prefer? I don't tend to use tweezers when it comes to squares, but I do use them quite often for special diamond paintings. Not so much the standard round rhinestones, more so the different shaped ones, the bigger ones, sometimes even the really, really tiny teardrop rhinestones that you can get in some kits, especially if the kit is wanting you to use the little teardrops to, say, make petals on a flower. I often use the tweezers for that because it's easier to see where I'm manipulating the shape to get it in the right place. And for those, I like the metal black tweezers. A mixture between the ones with the sort of pointy ends that, don't stab yourself. They tend to be my go-to. But then I do also have some that have a little angle that comes down. Though I do only have 1 pair of those, so sometimes it's finding them that can be the trouble. Because at the moment my tweezers are all over the place. They're used with the 3D printers. We use them for just in between prints to make sure that we're removing any plastic off the nozzle. They're used for sticking the stickers on the back of the trays. So yeah, sometimes I can't find any tweezers, but more often than not, it's the black ones, like what comes with an Ever Moment kit. They're the ones I like to use. But I've never found the need to use them for squares. Some people do say that if you struggle with squares, before you give up, try using tweezers. Some people really get on with them. I've never had the point where I needed to test it. I think that's the thing. I've never had to try it because I got on with using the pen for it. So, but yes, I do use them. Oh, Stephanie does say she absolutely loves glue dots. That's another plus for glue dots. It is something I am going to use. I am going to try. The only reason I haven't tried it yet on these whip and chats is I do want to. I've got a new series that I think is going to be coming in August, and I want to make a video on it for that. So it feels a little bit weird to start using glue dots before I've done that video, because for that video I'm actually going to try it from the beginning as a complete, never done this before. People tell me glue dots are good, let's give it a go. So I can't sort of use glue dots and then make a video like that, can I? I need to make it true to what I'm saying. So yes, I am going to give glue dots a go. So Talea, do you think you could print diamonds for a painting? 3D print them? I think it would be extremely hard. I think it could be done. It's not so much the size or the design, I think could be done. I think for something this small though, it would take a lot of time to 3D print, you know, in a couple of different designs, and you place them far quicker than they could print. I just think it's not practical for the amount that you use to try and 3D print them. I'm sure they could be done though, and it would probably cost you a lot more than necessarily buying the diamonds from somewhere. Plus, I think the colours wouldn't be the same. I've even had slightly different shades of 3D filaments from the same seller on some occasions. A bit like you can get with diamond painting drills, but to try and make your own, yeah, I think that's a don't need that drama type thing. It's definitely a bit more hassle than it's worth, but I'm sure it could be done. Maybe it'd be fun to see if I could get a bigger diamond printed to make sort of more of a statement maybe. But again, the 3D printers do tend to have a little bit of wiggle room. So, you know, there can be a very, very slight margin of error. And I think with the likes of diamond painting, that margin of error would be very, very apparent and very much in your face, which wouldn't work. So, Francis said, hi Rebecca and Megan, try Create Share Love had some of the wireless 8.4 light pads. Thank you so much for that. There were many people, I say many, there were quite a few people, let's not dramatise it, there were quite a few people that did post on both the Facebook group and YouTube with recommendations for wireless light pads for Megan. So thank you so much for that. She ended up finding an absolute bargain. So she found a wireless light pad that somebody recommended off Amazon. Now, it was a type she wasn't particularly looking at first, and the reason being is the back of the light pad wasn't flat. It did have a little bit of a bump. It's not huge, but it did have a little bit of a bump or a block in the back of it where the battery was to charge said light pad. And she didn't think that would work as well for her on the easel that she uses. So she was trying to avoid that type. However, somebody posted a link to one on Amazon that when she first clicked on the link, it was £15 off. I think that made it about £12–13. When she checked it the following day, because she was still undecided as to whether to give it a go, it had a £20 off voucher. So it made the light pad £8. She decided for £8 she would give it a go, and she's very impressed with it. She's impressed with her purchase, and she spent a lot less than I did. Or should I say, hubby did when he bought mine for me. And hers is actually thinner as well. There is a conversation about it in the Facebook group, so if you did want to know which one she got, there is a conversation there, and she does show a screenshot of the light pad that she got. I'm not sure if it's her post or if she commented on the post of somebody recommending one, but by all means hop over to the Facebook group. Don't forget to agree to the rules when you request to join. I think it's just a little toggle switch, because otherwise your request won't get through. So do make sure that you read the grand 2 rules that we have in the group. They're not big, they're quite simple rules, but you do need to agree to them before you can join. And then there's all sorts of discussions that go on over there, and all sorts of recommendations and amazing people that will help you out. They're really, really good at helping. Teresa says she likes glue dots now that she's got used to them. Oh, so maybe it is something I do need to give a little bit of time. And that's probably about right. I've been diamond painting now for over 3 years. I can imagine that if, you know, it's switching from something that is different to what you're used to, I can imagine that can take a little bit of time. She's almost finished her spare diamond system. She's just got the specials and AB to do. But she did order a full set of squares and rounds, so it took her forever. She's got a tidy amount of AB colours she bought, then she'll have 4 boxes. Amazing. She says she's not doing the June event because she's been doing the spares. I get that. She's having a break, but she'll watch every day. No, the spares, especially if you have a lot of spares, like, you know, the fact that you've just purchased a full set, I completely understand how that can end up taking a lot of your time. And I did my spares, well, I thought it would only take me a few weeks, and I was relabeling the bags and stuff. I'd already done the cards. And that must have been about over 9 weeks, I think, before I finally got all my spares in order with their nice stickers. And it was a good chunk of time that it took, but breaking it down is definitely the best way to do it. It's a nice way, it's an easier way, and it keeps the enjoyment level up there. Because as much as I love organising, and I love the fine detail in the spare storage, you do need to have those little breaks from it. You want the end result, memory card got me again. To sit there for, you know, a good however many days I think it would have been if I take in meal and toilet breaks, to take in all that amount, you know, it would have taken me a good few days to do it. And I would have been, while I would have been happy with the result at the end of it, I probably would have been exhausted and also playing the why did I start this game, which you don't want to have to do, especially with the likes of spare storage, because that's a system that you're going to be using each time you de-kit a painting. You don't want to look at it with regret and with remembering how exhausting it was. It's much nicer to just enjoy putting away your spares, because you enjoyed making your spare storage system. But yeah, I'd love to see if you're in the Facebook group, Trace, which I'm pretty sure you are, though as I've said before, I am pretty bad with names, especially when they can change between YouTube and Facebook. It can make it even worse for me. But if you are in the Facebook group, I'd love to see pictures when you're all done. I love seeing pictures that people have completed of all their pretty storage. Oh, here is a comment. So the next comment that I've got to was on the 9th of June. So it was an I that ooze. So it's small I and then VAOOZE on Amazon Prime. And they had the A4 light pad with a £15 voucher, which dropped it down to £12.99. And it has a side button for the 5 light settings, so you don't accidentally push it. And that was the one that Megan bought. So it had a £15 voucher, but when she put it in a basket, but a £20 one when she woke up. So she just decided to get it. So she only paid £8. Somebody else says they section their paintings and start at the top left. So that's another person that works the way you read. She would love an A3 or larger wireless light pad, but they're very pricey. Yeah, try popping it on the Facebook group, Anna. Because if they've managed to find Megan a bargain, you never know. 20 eyes looking for wireless light pads that are not ridiculously expensive are better than one set of eyes. So get the group on it, put what country you're in. It's amazing what a group of amazing people they are. People will keep an eye out, and sometimes it can be a week or more later and all of a sudden somebody will have seen a wireless light pad cheaper. They will remember that there's a post, they will search, find the post and tell you. So if there's anything like that you are hunting for that's a little bit different, or you're wanting it at, with a coupon or on offer, then the Facebook group is a very, very good place to start. Just ask. If nobody knows, nobody knows. But quite often you're helping others as well. Even if it's them getting something they didn't know they needed. That also happens a lot. So that is one thing you do have to watch out for on the Facebook group. Quite often people will show bargains that they've purchased, and you sort of have this itch in your hand, and all of a sudden it's in your basket and it's on its way. But that's just the way the world works, or crafters work anyway. Java Junkie says she loves the glue dots. She does have a couple of tips. Awesome. I like tips. Use a new tip. She says if it already had wax in it, it's likely to come out. Oh, okay. So I don't know if I have any that will have new tips, but I will definitely make sure that I give them a good clean out, and if I can switch the tips, so not my metal ones, then I will, because I do have an abundance of pink pens, so any that take a standard clear tip I can switch out. And second, don't use glue dots on ABs. It pulls the coating off. I can imagine. Yeah, I can see that happening, because I do think the coating comes off on wax. So if we're using something that's even stronger, it doesn't surprise me that it comes off. Which is why I think I'm better switching and making sure that I use my other little wax pen when I'm working with ABs on this painting. I think it's a lot safer. So section D. Nancy has said, do you think you'll make a lid for your trays? She got her trays and she loves them. The only problem she has is the tray slides on my diamonds I have put down. Oh, she doesn't hold a tray, she sets it on her painting. I mean, we will be looking at whether we can do a lid that we're happy with the quality and things. That can sometimes be the problem, is there's things that we can design and do, but the quality we don't like. But that's something that we're hoping by getting this third printer, we'll be able to have, you know, the time to look into these sorts of designs and do the, you know, the practice ones and things like that. It could be a little bit tricky, dependent on when you purchased your tray, knowing what particular filament that may have been used for your tray to be able to get a matching lid. But it's definitely something that we'll look into. In relation to your tray sliding about because you sit it on the top, there is something that's worth getting, and I'm not sure if I can find it. Oh, here we go. I have one here. This one's actually from Purple Pelican, but I have got one similar or slightly smaller that I actually picked up in Home Bargains in the UK. But these are like dash mats. So you can get them, quite often they're in the car section. And the idea is that you stick this on your dash and you can put your mobile phone on it to stop it moving. But what you can also do is you can put it, and it will stick. In fact, I'm probably trying the wrong place because I haven't got diamonds there. Let's see if I can. So if I go here where I've already got diamonds, and then you can stick your tray on it. You see, it's actually lifting up my diamond painting a little bit. This is a fresh one, but you can then peel your tray off and you can use that, and then you can peel it up off your diamonds and all your diamonds still stay in place. It's not that sticky that it'll pull them off. Let's give it a go with this next one. What have we got, Zed? So that may help you in relation to setting it on your painting and it's sliding. But the ridges are pretty good that once you've got it done. In fact, let me zoom out. Let me just move some of this stuff out the way. So this one is from, the one I'm actually using is from Purple Pelican. But my easel is, it's on sort of its lowest setting, but it's still a good, what sort of degrees are we on? 30 to 40 degrees upright. And if I go up to the next level, I'm probably very, very risky checking this with diamond. That's probably a good 45 degrees, if not more. Diamonds are starting to fall out if I go up to the top one, which is pretty horizontal. Not horizontal, vertical. Use the right words. But these can be fantastic if you don't want to hold your tray. So you can then leave your tray wherever it may be. You can stick it on cover paper as well. I just wanted to show you what it was like sticking it on diamonds if you've already done that section, because a lot of the time if you are working on a big painting on a flat table, then you will actually, quite often, many people will work across the bottom row and build the way up, which means the tray is always going to be on diamonds. And then it holds it pretty well. It will get a little bit easier to remove as time goes on. I'm just moving it a bit further down now, so it's over the top of cover paper. Yeah, I was trying to see if it was on any diamonds, but it's not. It's all on cover paper. And this stops your tray from sliding about, which may keep you going, just in case we either aren't happy with lids that could potentially be offered. Yeah, because I can't make any promises on that one because we haven't messed and designed and seen if it works. The only thing with this wax pen, using this on ABs, is you can't really push a diamond down into place, and you do end up losing a little bit of it if you push too hard. But this other end allows you to scrape it off. So I hope that helps Nancy in between. What can you do if a canvas is not sticky enough? Oh, I think a lot of that will depend on which type of canvas is not sticky. So you can, on the likes of a double-sided tape painting, if you're only talking a couple of diamonds, you know, just one corner or one section, I have heard people use nail varnish. However, I think that might be a little bit too shiny. But the likes of PVA glue or Elmer's glue should be enough to stick a diamond down, and then it dries clear. On poured glue, I think a lot of it is a lot of the problem is the time something or how quick something may actually dry. So if you were to use the likes of PVA glue, it could dry quicker than you could place the diamonds. I don't know what other glue you could use, but I'm sure there will be one. There's glues for everything. Glues for absolutely everything. Right, I'll put my fancy pen down for a bit. And I don't know why I put my tray straight back down on this mat when I knew I'd have to lift it up again anyway to shake my diamonds. Oh, might have to keep this mat out a little bit more. This is pretty handy. Thank you, Purple Pelican, for giving me something I didn't know I would need. But he's working really well. Especially, do you know when this is perfect when I'm diamond painting? Because I do hold the tray and I don't mind particularly holding the tray. I do tend to move it about my diamond painting depending on where I'm working. When I want snacks, you know, when you might just have, you know, that little bag of, normally for me, jelly sweets just by the side of you that might need a little bit of attention, especially if there's anybody else in the house that is sharing them with you. If they're not diamond painting, they could get a lot more of a share than you if your hands are tied up with a tray and a pen. I reckon I could definitely use this and use my other hand to grab a few jellies and make sure I get my fair share. But yeah, it's working really, really well, and it's sticking perfectly fine to the cover sheet, even though we are getting to the point where the easel has got that little bit of a lip. It's plenty big enough that you actually don't even have to put the whole tray on it. As long as you've got a fair part of the tray on it, the tray will stay. Now I only need one of these. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, that worked. And there is hardly any difference between those two ABs. Between the first set that I did and that one, there is not a lot of difference. But I like to stick as true to the chart as I can. This is one that I missed, so we'll do that one. And then let's get these other little bits done. So M, where are you? And I'm just going to zoom in a bit, but I'm not going to zoom in as far, just so you guys can see me using this mat and how it works. But I'm liking this. I'm liking this for keeping my hands free. I am finding I'm pulling down on the canvas a little bit more, but I could still put another clip and clip it in another place, and that probably would do the job. If you have your diamond painting flat, it would be even easier. But I love the fact it works on an angle. I just need to remember there's no point in sticking it down when I've still got some diamonds that I need to do. Need to put in the tray because you can't quite shake them down as easy when they're not. When you haven't got the tray, haven't got hold of the tray to shake it. Okay, so answered Robin's question. Oh, so Kareen said, thank you for answering my questions on how you make the diamond painting trays. You're welcome. Crazy Cat Lady said she received her new trays on Tuesday. She's loving using them. They fit in her hand really well and the drills line up beautifully once shaken. Thank you. I love hearing the positive feedback. I love it that people are using our trays. Before you know it, you'll have a house full of 3D printers. Well, it's getting that way. You may have written this comment a little bit ago. We ordered another printer today. But that's because we're itching to try out so many different things. And we need 3D printers to be able to do that. It says you can never drink too much coffee. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely my opinion too. I love my coffee. Megan's replied saying they've taken over my kitchen. Yeah, they kind of have. They are going to get rehomed though. We have decided that they're going to get rehomed out of the kitchen, and they're more than likely to go in mine and hubby's bedroom. We do have a big side in the bedroom, and to be fair, we tend to go to the bedroom to get changed or go to sleep. Like, it's one of the least used rooms in the house. In fact, it's probably the least used room in the house. The kids use their bedrooms a lot more than we use ours. We don't tend to, just go disappear up there and have an hour or so. Hubby might have a little bit of a relax when he gets in from work. But a lot of the time he's trying to get away from the 3D printer noise in the kitchen. So, yeah, we are going to relocate them. It'll be a little bit more of a set a timer to make sure that I can go and check on them and change it over and start it off with another tray. But for that little bit of inconvenience, I think it'll be a lot better for the house and the household. Oh, somebody said they bought their light pad from Create Love Share, though hers is A3. Thank you. Margaret has said glad to hear you're gonna try micro glue dots. She says they work great in the everlasting tips. She does find that if she puts moisturiser on the back of her hand, because then once the glue dots are in the tip, you just rub it gently, and that's just to make sure that the glue dot in effect loses a little bit of its stickiness, because it is a lot stronger, and you just want it to be not quite as strong as the canvas glue, because of course that's what pulls it off. She docked away for quite a while, and she says the click it makes, I can imagine that, yeah, a glue dot will make a little click as it pulls away from the diamond, is a satisfying sound. Oh, that's good. It's good that that's satisfying as well, because I do like the click that you can sometimes get with squares. Not so much with this painting. I do notice it more on the nicer quality diamonds. So the likes of Ever Moment diamonds, for example, they do a nice click. Right, I'm just going to move this matte thing up and give it a go further up. Okay, it has pulled off my numbers off the back, but then again, so does my hand. So let's see, is that gonna... Okay, it's not going to come off again, not with just my hand. So I will give it a clean later, but I want to move it up a little bit because I have done further down, but I also want to see how it copes on top of some ABs being used. We'll find out if it gets hold of any coating off ABs. I don't think it will, it didn't over here. But I want to test it as much as possible now I've started. Margaret also says she agrees with me in regards to live chat. She likes the way I do my videos. Thank you, Margaret. Oh, and she says if you can place the edge of your diamond painting tip under the edge of your drill, she does find that that can remove it. Yeah, I have done that occasionally, not so much with my everlasting tips. I don't know why, but with these tips, if you can get it to just hook under the corner, you can peel up the diamond. I do that occasionally if I've misplaced where a diamond is and it's on double-sided tape and I can't just push it and scoot it over. Then I do sometimes use the pen tip to get hold of the diamond. That's probably what causes damage to my tips and makes me need the everlasting ones. Ah well, it'll be right. It'll work. Oh, I'll just throw that diamond everywhere. We've got one more to go. I took my stopper out too quick then and lost 2 diamonds. That'll teach me. Last one is X. Oh, another gorgeous blue. Loving this colour. It's going to make my memory card save before it tells me to. She says, please don't stop waffling. I will do my best, Margaret. I will keep going. Shimmy Dancer said it's so exciting that a new tray might be put up. Yes, and it actually happened quicker than we thought. It seemed as though the filament was going to keep going forever on the trays, but it finished, and then we got them up as soon as possible because we know you people like purple. We have seen by stickers that have been ordered that people like the purple. But then, of course, there is also many other gorgeous colours, and I enjoy changing my tray depending on my mood and the painting I'm working on. Maybe I'll have to find matching pens and match a pen to my tray maybe that would be a way that I could use all my diamond painting pens, is to match them up to trays and I take them like a partner in crime. Might take me a bit to do that. Ellen has asked, how many does the 3D printer do at one time? One tray, Ellen. So one tray takes 3 hours to print on the 3D printer. Though I can get more stoppers done in one, and they don't take 3 hours. So the stoppers are a lot quicker, but the trays are 3 hours for one. Because when we were doing them any faster by changing the settings, we just weren't happy with the quality of them. They just didn't feel as nice, weren't as smooth. So, yeah. Well, we haven't lost any, or we haven't gained, should I say, on the back of here. Doesn't look like we've gained any AB coating, though that could also be dependent on the quality, but it did take up some of my numbers from below. So do bear that in mind if you have numbers. These are pretty sticky. And in fact, have I gone and stuck it on the one bit I shouldn't? Oh no, it's coming up. It does come with pieces of plastic that it can be removed off. There is another piece somewhere. Oh, it's here. So that you can put it back on to stop it picking up hair and stuff. And this probably will just come off. If not, I'll get a bit of nail varnish remover or something to take it off. Or it might stay there just to remind me of today. Depends how lazy I'm feeling and how handy any nail varnish remover is. But that's another square done. Thank you so much for joining me again. I do keep asking you questions in your comments. I do still have some to go through, and I will keep waffling my way through the rest of June. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.